In the Serengeti, a moment of tranquility is shattered. The sun beats down relentlessly as the camera pans across the endless savanna, with tall grasses swaying gently in the breeze. Suddenly, the sound of distress breaks the silence. A young leopard, trapped beneath the heavy weight of a fallen tree, struggles desperately for survival. Its muscles tense, its breath shallow, it claws at the earth. But the weight of the tree is too much. The fear in its eyes is palpable, a deep, primal terror as it tries to move, but its strength wanes. It lets out a low, agonized growl. The camera zooms in on the leopard's face, its fur matted with sweat, eyes wide in panic, as every breath feels like an eternity. The wild is unforgiving, and this leopard's fight for life has only just begun. Will it survive, or is this the end of the road for this magnificent predator? In the distance, a small group of wildlife rescuers, alerted by the sound of the leopard's growls, rush towards the scene. They are determined but anxious, knowing the peril that lies ahead. As they approach, the sight of the trapped leopard pulls at their hearts. One of the rescuers, a seasoned wildlife expert, quickly assesses the situation. "We need to act fast," he says. The team, equipped with ropes, tools, and a calm resolve, begins to discuss the safest way to approach. The leopard's eyes flicker toward the approaching humans, a mixture of confusion and fear evident in its gaze. As the team moves closer, the leopard's growls intensify, the realization setting in. The animal's fate lies in the hands of these strangers, and time is running out. The team quickly gets to work, one rescuer checking the leopard's breathing, while another begins preparing the ropes to lift the tree. "We need to keep it calm," one of the rescuers murmurs, as they try to reassure the terrified animal with soft, gentle voices. The leopard's growls subside slightly, though its fear remains. The leader of the team, a woman in her late 30s with years of experience, assesses the tree's position. "If we can get the pressure off its ribs, we can save it," she says. As the team sets up their equipment, the tension is almost unbearable. The leopard's labored breathing is audible, the sense of urgency clear. With each passing second, the chance of survival slips away. The first rope is placed carefully, and the moment of truth is fast approaching. The first rope is in place, but the leopard's condition has worsened. Its growls have now turned into low, panicked whimpers. "We need to move faster," the leader says. The team works in silence, the weight of the situation pressing down on them. They brace themselves to lift the massive tree, using all their strength and equipment. The leopard's body shifts slightly as the pressure on its ribs begins to lessen. The leader instructs the team to work in unison, carefully and deliberately. As the tree creaks and groans under the strain, the leopard's body becomes more relaxed. But just as hope begins to rise, a loud crack is heard. One of the ropes snaps. "We're running out of time," the leader whispers. A wave of anxiety sweeps over the group. The battle to save the leopard has entered a new, even more dangerous phase. The rope holds, and with a final push, the fallen tree shifts. The leopard's body is now free from the crushing weight, but it lies motionless on the ground. The team rushes in, their eyes filled with equal parts relief and dread. "It's not over yet," the leader says, as they quickly check the leopard's vitals. The young leopard's breathing is shallow, but it's still alive. The team scrambles to get the necessary medical equipment, their hearts pounding with the realization that the next moments are crucial. The sun is now dipping low in the sky, casting a golden glow over the scene, as the rescuers work tirelessly to save this beautiful creature from the brink of death. As the sun begins to set, casting an amber glow across the Serengeti, the rescuers face a critical juncture. With the leopard freed from the weight of the tree, they now realize the full extent of the animal's injuries. A member of the team, Dr. Malik, a wildlife veterinarian, kneels beside the leopard, gently examining its ribs. "It's still breathing, but there's a serious risk of internal bleeding," he says, his voice tense but controlled. The team works quickly, preparing a makeshift stretcher to transport the injured animal to a mobile medical unit nearby. The urgency of the situation becomes even more pronounced as a dark storm cloud rolls in, the winds picking up. We need to move, and we need to move fast. The leader of the rescue team, Lena, orders. The race against time has truly begun, and the journey to save the leopard has only just begun. The storm is approaching fast, and the tension is palpable as the team hurries to move the leopard to safety. The wind picks up, carrying dust and debris, and the air grows heavy with the impending downpour. Lena glances at the approaching storm, worry etched on her face. "We're losing precious time," she mutters, her eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of shelter. The rescuers work in silence, each person focused on their task, trying to keep the leopard calm. Dr. Malik checks the animal's pulse again, his brow furrowed in concentration. "It's stable for now," he says, though his voice betrays his uncertainty. "But we can't risk moving it in this weather." With the storm now only moments away, Lena makes a tough decision. "We go for it. We move now," she orders, her tone resolute. The storm is upon them, but there is no turning back. The first heavy raindrops begin to fall, drenching the team and the injured leopard. The wind howls around them, the landscape turning gray as the storm intensifies. Lena signals to the others to keep moving, but the path is slippery and treacherous. "Watch your step," she calls out as mud begins to form beneath their feet. The tension is mounting. Every second feels like a battle against nature. The leopard, though still unconscious, is held tightly in the makeshift stretcher, the rescuers carefully navigating the terrain. The sound of thunder cracks overhead, and a flash of lightning lights up the sky, briefly illuminating the dangerous landscape. Dr. Malik keeps a close eye on the leopard's condition. "We need to get to the medical unit quickly. I'm not sure how much longer it can last," he warns, his concern growing with every passing minute. Just as it seems the storm will overwhelm them, the medical unit appears in the distance, a beacon of hope through the downpour. The team pushes forward, nearly slipping in the mud, their strength and resolve tested like never before. As they approach the medical unit, Dr. Malik and Lena share a brief look of relief. But the moment is fleeting. The leopard's condition is still dire. "Get it inside now," Lena urges, as the team rushes toward the shelter. Inside the mobile unit, the medical team quickly takes over, moving with precision and expertise. The leopard is carefully transferred onto a table, and the team works swiftly to assess its injuries. "We're going to need to stabilize it quickly," Dr. Malik says. As the storm rages outside, the rescuers are left to wait in silence, their hopes pinned on the medical team's ability to save the leopard. Inside the medical unit, the atmosphere is tense. Dr. Malik examines the leopard's injuries closely, his expression grave. "There's internal bleeding," he murmurs, "but we can stop it. It's going to be touch and go." The other team members stand in the corner, silent, their eyes glued to the leopard. Lena watches the proceedings, her mind racing through all the possibilities. "Do we have the supplies we need?" she asks, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions inside. Dr. Malik nods, but the concern in his eyes is unmistakable. "We'll have to be quick. If we don't stabilize it soon, we might lose it." The pressure mounts, but the team rallies together, their shared mission clear. Every second counts. As the storm continues to rage outside, the final battle for the leopard's life is now taking place within the walls of the mobile unit. The storm outside has passed, leaving behind a heavy, oppressive silence. Inside the mobile medical unit, the team works feverishly to stabilize the young leopard. Dr. Malik has just finished administering fluids, and the air is thick with the anxiety of the team. The leopard's breathing is shallow, its pulse weak, but it's still holding on. "It's not out of the woods yet," Dr. Malik says quietly, his face etched with concern. The rescuers exchange nervous glances, their minds racing with worst-case scenarios. Lena, the team leader, watches the animal closely, her heart pounding. She knows that every minute is a fight against time. The leopard's life is hanging by a thread, and the uncertainty of the next move fills the room with tension. "We need to keep it stable," Lena says, her voice barely a whisper, "no matter what." As Dr. Malik adjusts the IV, the team holds their breath, hoping for a sign of improvement. A few hours later, the leopard's breathing begins to slow, but the recovery is still fragile. Dr. Malik checks the monitors, his fingers brushing across the various readings. It's improving, but not by much, he says, his voice a mixture of relief and caution. The team, still exhausted from their efforts, stays close, not wanting to leave the leopard's side. Lena paces, her mind swirling with possible outcomes. The rain from earlier has given way to a quiet, star-filled night, but inside the unit, time feels frozen. A soft whimper from the leopard catches everyone's attention, and the animal stirs slightly. That's a good sign, Dr. Malik says, though his tone remains cautious. Let's keep monitoring it. The team's spirits lift just slightly, but they know they're still in the fight of their lives. Every small movement from the leopard brings a flicker of hope, but they know that the battle is far from over. The next morning, the first rays of sunlight seep through the window, casting a soft glow across the medical unit. The leopard's breathing has steadied, and its body is beginning to show signs of recovery. The team gathers around the animal, watching as it slowly opens its eyes. It's awake, Lena says, her voice filled with quiet relief. But we're not out of danger yet, Dr. Malik cautions. There's still a lot of healing to do. The team watches as the leopard weakly moves its head, trying to adjust to the new sensations in its body. It's clear that it's in pain, but it's also showing signs of resilience. It's a fighter, one of the team members says softly. For the first time in hours, there's a sense of hope in the room. But Lena knows the real battle is just beginning. The team has no choice but to continue monitoring the leopard closely, praying that it will continue to fight its way back. As the hours pass, the leopard's condition fluctuates. Some moments show improvement, while others reveal setbacks. Dr. Malik continues to monitor the animal, adjusting medications and fluids as needed. Lena stands at the window, her gaze fixed on the distant horizon, her thoughts miles away. We're not giving up on it, she says softly, more to herself than anyone else. One of the team members, Michael, approaches with a concerned look. Lena, we need to talk. We've been at this for hours. What if it doesn't make it? He asks gently. Lena turns to him, her face filled with a mix of determination and weariness. Then we'll know we did everything we could, she replies. We've come this far. We're not stopping now. The team, hearing her words, nods in agreement. The leopard is their responsibility, and they will do whatever it takes to save it. By the late afternoon, a breakthrough comes, slow, steady, but undeniably present. The leopard's vital signs stabilize, and Dr. Malik is the first to exhale with cautious relief. It's going to make it, he says, though his voice remains measured. It's not fully out of the woods yet, but we're past the worst of it. Lena allows herself a small smile, though the exhaustion still clings to her. Good work, everyone, she says, her voice thick with gratitude. But we still need to keep it monitored. No one leaves. As the team continues their work, a quiet sense of accomplishment settles in, tempered by the knowledge that the leopard's recovery is far from assured. There are more challenges ahead, but for now, the team can breathe just a little easier. They fought through the storm, both literal and figurative, and come out on the other side. As the sun rises, casting long shadows across the Serengeti, the medical team is on high alert. The leopard's condition has improved, but it is still not out of the woods. Dr. Malik, now more confident but still cautious, checks the leopard's vitals one more time. The animal has regained some strength and has started to show signs of alertness. It's showing progress, but it needs more rest, he says, his voice steady but filled with the weight of the responsibility. We're going to keep it here for another 24 hours. Lena nods, grateful for the good news but fully aware of how fragile the situation remains. The team prepares to move the leopard into a safer, more permanent recovery area nearby. They work quickly, but there's a sense of determination in their movements. The storm may have passed, but they know that the hardest part of the journey is far from over. With the leopard's condition stable for now, the team begins preparations to transport it to a more secure location for continued recovery. The air is thick with tension as the plan is discussed. One mistake, one misstep could undo everything. We need to move it carefully, Lena instructs, her voice calm yet firm. "The last thing we want is for the leopard to go into shock." The team assembles, each member aware of the stakes. As they lift the leopard onto the stretcher, it lets out a low, strained growl. The sound, though weak, is a reminder of how far the animal has come, and how far it still has to go. The team moves quickly, but with the utmost care, knowing the next few moments are critical. The path ahead is unclear, but they're determined to see it through. "We're not letting it down now," Lena says, her resolve clear in her voice. The journey to the recovery area is slow, made even more difficult by the uneven terrain. The leopard's body is still weak, and every bump in the road seems to send a shockwave through the team's hearts. Dr. Malik leads the way, constantly checking on the leopard, while Lena keeps a careful watch over the surroundings. "We're almost there," Dr. Malik says, though the exhaustion in his voice betrays the weight of their efforts. The air is still heavy with the humidity from the storm, and the team's sweat-drenched faces are a testament to their endurance. The sun beats down mercilessly, but the team presses on, undeterred. "Stay focused," Lena says, her eyes scanning for any potential threats or obstacles. "We can't afford a mistake now." As they move forward, the team holds their collective breath, the leopard's fate hanging in the balance with each step. Just as they near the recovery area, the unexpected happens. A sudden, loud crack echoes through the air. One of the team members, Michael, stumbles, nearly losing his footing on the loose gravel. "What's going on?" Lena demands, her heart racing. Dr. Malik rushes over, checking the leopard's vitals. "It's still stable," he reports, though his face betrays his concern. "We need to get it to shelter now." The team picks up the pace, but the tension is palpable. The leopard's survival is no longer just about its physical injuries, it's about the emotional strain of the past few days. The weight of the team's exhaustion, combined with the unpredictability of the wild, feels almost unbearable. But they push on. "It's not over until it's safe," Lena says firmly, her voice cutting through the rising panic. The team keeps moving, their resolve strengthened by the knowledge that they've come too far to fail now. Inside the recovery shelter, the team sets the leopard down gently. The medical unit is a temporary haven, with makeshift beds and necessary supplies scattered about. Dr. Malik and the team immediately go to work, administering a final round of fluids and checking the animal's vitals. The leopard, still weak but breathing steadily, is now safely away from immediate danger. "It's not out of the woods, but it's as stable as it's been," Dr. Malik says, his voice carrying a mix of relief and caution. The team gathers around the leopard, their exhaustion showing in their drooping shoulders, but also in their soft smiles. "We did it," Lena says quietly, though her voice is filled with both exhaustion and gratitude. "But the fight's not over. We keep monitoring it until we know it's going to make it." The team agrees, their collective resolve unwavering. The journey isn't over, but for now they can finally take a breath. The days pass, and the leopard's condition continues to improve. It has begun eating again, and its strength is slowly returning. The team watches with growing relief as the once weakened animal now stirs, lifting its head and looking around. "It's a good sign," Dr. Malik says, his voice filled with quiet hope. The leopard's eyes, though still a little clouded, show more awareness with every passing moment. "The medical team has done all they can for now. We can't relax yet," Lena reminds the team, though her voice carries a tone of cautious optimism. There's still a long road ahead. Despite the setbacks and the many challenges, the leopard is finally showing the promise of recovery. The hardest moments, it seems, may be behind them. The shelter is calm now, the team's exhaustion replaced by the hope that their relentless efforts have not been in vain. After several more days of careful monitoring, the leopard takes its first tentative steps. It stumbles at first, its legs shaky, but it doesn't give up. The team watches from the sidelines, their hearts swelling with emotion. "It's walking," one of the rescuers whispers, his voice filled with disbelief and wonder. Slowly, the leopard gains confidence, moving a little farther each time. Dr. Malik looks at Lena, who is standing nearby. "This is it," he says. "This is the turning point." The leopard is now showing the resilience that made it a survivor in the first place. "We're not out of the woods, but we're closer than ever," Lena replies, her voice full of pride. The leopard continues to move, its body regaining strength, and the hope of a full recovery now feels more tangible than ever. As the days pass, the leopard continues to grow stronger. The team begins to discuss the next step, releasing the animal back into the wild. "It's almost ready," Dr. Malik says one morning, his voice tinged with excitement and sadness. "We've done everything we can." Lena, standing by the window, looks out at the vast expanse of the Serengeti. "It's time," she says quietly, though her heart is heavy. The leopard is no longer the fragile creature it once was. Its muscles have regained some strength, and its movements have become more fluid. Yet, the thought of releasing it back into the wild brings a sense of finality. "We're doing the right thing," Lena tells herself, but the weight of the decision lingers. The leopard may be ready to return to the wild, but the team must let go of it, and of their shared journey. The team prepares for the leopard's release. They pack up their supplies and make final checks on the animal's health. The mood is a blend of anticipation and sadness. "It's been an honor," one of the team members says quietly, as they prepare to move the leopard to the transport vehicle. "We've done all we can." Lena nods, a bittersweet smile crossing her face. "Now we give it back to the wild." As they drive toward the release site, the team reflects on their journey. The leopard, once a helpless victim of circumstance, has become a symbol of strength and survival. The air is thick with anticipation as they arrive at the release site, and the team gathers around the transport vehicle, ready for the final act. "Let's make sure it knows it's free," Lena says softly. With a collective breath, the team prepares to open the door, letting the leopard return to its rightful place in the wild. With one final look at the team, the leopard steps out of the vehicle and onto the earth. Its paws touch the soil, and for a brief moment, it pauses, taking in the vast expanse before it. Then, as if drawn by an invisible force, the leopard begins to move. Slowly at first it hesitates, but then it picks up speed, its movements becoming more fluid and confident. The team watches in silence, their eyes filled with emotion. "It's free," Lena whispers. The leopard disappears into the tall grasses, its form melding into the landscape. As the team stands in the fading light, they know that they've done everything they could to help this magnificent creature. The journey has been long, and the challenges were immense, but in the end, the leopard is where it belongs, back in the wild. The team remains there for a moment, watching the horizon, knowing that the story of the leopard's survival is one they will carry with them forever. Days pass since the leopard's release, and the team remains on the edge of hope. Despite the success of the release, Lena can't shake the lingering worry that something may go wrong. The wilderness, unpredictable and vast, can be both a savior and a graveyard. But in the depths of the Serengeti, a new chapter begins for the young leopard. Dr. Malik and Lena have returned to the area, following signs of movement in the wild. "We may be getting close," Dr. Malik murmurs as they walk through the tall grasses, scanning the horizon for any sign of the animal. Then, a flash of movement catches Lena's eye. She holds her breath. There in the distance, the leopard is moving, its body lithe and strong. A surge of emotion rises in her chest. It is alive, thriving. It is free. "It made it," Lena whispers, overwhelmed with pride. The leopard's first steps as a wild animal have come full circle, and the journey to survival has ended in triumph. The leopard moves confidently through the savanna, its muscles strong and agile, a stark contrast to the vulnerable animal it once was. It pauses for a moment, sensing the presence of its observers, then continues to move, disappearing into the thick brush. Lena and Dr. Malik exchange glances, their hearts filled with a sense of completion. "It's ready," Dr. Malik says, his voice full of certainty. "It's a survivor just like we hoped." Lena nods, her emotions welling up as she watches the leopard blend into its natural habitat. The once helpless animal now embodies the untamed strength of the Serengeti. "We gave it the chance it needed," Lena says, her voice thick with emotion. The bond between human and animal remains unspoken, but it is understood. The leopard's journey may have been hard, but it has returned to where it belongs. It is free once again. Later that evening, Lena and Dr. Malik sit by a small campfire, reflecting on the journey. The crackling fire casts flickering shadows, and the sounds of the Serengeti night fill the air. "Do you think it'll stay out there?" Lena asks, her voice soft. "The wild can be unforgiving," Dr. Malik replies, gazing into the fire. "But it's made for this. The leopard is a fighter. We gave it the best chance we could." The two sit in silence for a moment, the weight of the past weeks settling in. The bond they share with the animal is unspoken, but undeniable. "It's a victory," Lena says after a pause. "Not just for the leopard, but for all of us. For everything we fought for." The fire crackles as the stars above twinkle, a quiet testament to the endless possibilities that lie ahead for the leopard in the wild. The next day, the team returns to their base, but Lena's mind lingers on the leopard. They've given it the chance to thrive, and now, all they can do is hope. "We've done our part," Dr. Malik says as they walk back to the vehicle. "Now, it's up to the wild." Lena nods, her heart heavy but filled with gratitude. "I never thought I'd feel this way," she admits, glancing back toward the savannah. "I thought I'd feel like we were leaving it behind, but I don't. It belongs out there." As they load up the vehicle, they pause for a moment, looking over the endless horizon. The landscape stretches out before them, vast and full of promise. Lena takes one last look, knowing that, even though the journey has come to an end, a new one is just beginning, for the leopard and for herself. Weeks later, a report comes in from a local wildlife tracker. The leopard has been spotted several times in the area, moving confidently and showing signs of healthy behavior. It's a small but significant victory. Lena holds the report in her hands, a smile spreading across her face. "It's really out there," she says softly, the weight of the journey finally lifting from her shoulders. Dr. Malik stands beside her, equally relieved. "We did it," he agrees. The team has gone from rescuers to witnesses of the leopard's return to its rightful place. The connection they shared will remain, but now, the wild has reclaimed its strength. As Lena gazes out the window, watching the sun set over the horizon, she knows that the journey is complete. The leopard is free. The team's mission has been a success, and the wild, once again, is where it belongs. Months have passed, and the leopard has continued to thrive in the wild. The once weak animal is now a proud predator, moving confidently through its territory. A local wildlife tracker, who has been keeping an eye on the leopard's movements, sends a final update to Lena and Dr. Malik. "It's become a dominant force in the region," the tracker writes. Lena reads the message with a deep sense of fulfillment. "We did it," she says, the weight of her journey lifting. Dr. Malik smiles, his eyes reflecting the same pride. "The wild has reclaimed it. Our job is done." Lena takes a moment to reflect on the entire journey. The struggle, the uncertainty, the moments of despair, and ultimately, the triumph. The leopard's survival is a testament to the resilience of life itself, and the team's efforts were not in vain. As Lena looks out at the horizon, she knows that the story of the leopard is far from over. It has a future, and it will continue to thrive in the wild, just as it was meant to. As the days go by, Lena and Dr. Malik continue their work in wildlife conservation, knowing that their efforts will always carry a part of the leopard's story with them. They're standing together at the edge of the Serengeti, watching the sun dip below the horizon. "You know, we've saved more than just one leopard," Dr. Malik says thoughtfully. "We've shown that there's always a chance as long as we're willing to fight for it." Lena nods in agreement, her eyes fixed on the vast open plains before them. "This is why we do it. For the wild, for them, for the chance to see them thrive." The two of them stand in silence for a moment, watching the last rays of sunlight fade away. The wild stretches on forever, and though their mission with the leopard has ended, the work continues. They've made a difference, one life, one animal, one chance at a time. In the weeks that follow, Lena and Dr. Malik return to the recovery shelter where it all began. The area is quieter now, the hustle and bustle of the rescue mission replaced by a serene sense of closure. "I can't believe how far we've come," Lena says softly, running her hand over the familiar terrain. It feels like a lifetime ago. Dr. Malik nods. It was a hard road, but we saw it through. They walk through the shelter, now being used to house other animals in need, and reflect on how far the leopard's story has traveled. The leopard's survival gave us all hope, Lena continues. And now, it's a part of the Serengeti again. The two of them share a final moment of quiet understanding, knowing that their work, though challenging, has helped preserve the delicate balance of the wild for years to come. Lena watches the sun set one last time, a calm satisfaction filling her heart. We've done good work here, she says softly, her eyes on the horizon where the last remnants of daylight are fading. This is what it's all about. Giving them a chance. Dr. Malik stands beside her, his arms folded, taking in the view. Ah. We didn't just save one leopard, he replies. We've inspired a whole community to care, to protect what's wild. Lena smiles, the exhaustion of their work finally settling into a sense of accomplishment. The leopard's story will continue, but so will ours, she says. There's always more to do, more to fight for. The wind stirs the tall grasses around them, as if echoing the unspoken promise to continue their work in wildlife preservation. They may have saved one leopard, but their mission to protect the wild is far from over. The final moments of the journey come as the last light fades from the sky. The leopard, now fully integrated into the wild, has been spotted again by the tracker, strong, healthy, and thriving. Lena holds a picture of the leopard, taken in the wild, showing it proudly standing in the tall grasses, its body strong and confident. We did it, she whispers to herself. It's free. Dr. Malik walks up beside her and places a hand on her shoulder. It's a story of survival, he says quietly. And it's only just beginning. As the night settles over the Serengeti, the leopard's future remains uncertain but filled with potential. And as for Lena and Dr. Malik, their work in the wild is far from over. They know that no matter how many challenges they face, they will continue to fight for the wild, because the wild always deserves a chance.